So Palau is an island nation which uses the US dollar. So in essence, it's a US dollar stablecoin that we're building there.
Hey, everybody. It's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and that was Anthony Welfare, a Ripple advisor. Well, at least he was. I don't know if he still is. I'll explain in just a moment. And he was working with Ripple on CBDCs. Now, in this video, I want to share with you a few of my predictions for 2024. I have many, but for today, here are 4. First, I want you to watch this phase 2 video of the Ripple-led US dollar stablecoin for Palau. Would Ripple create a digital currency that competes with Circle USDC? Would they want to promote the US dollar? And are they strategic when it comes to proving ultimately for the central bank currencies that they do indeed work with the XRP ledger technology? The answer to that, in my opinion, is yes, yes, and yes.
Palau Stablecoin Program, Phase 2. On December 14, 2023, the Republic of Palau Ministry of Finance officially launched Phase 2 of the Palau Stablecoin Program based on a 1-to-1 tokenized US dollar. The Republic of Palau Ministry of Finance seeks to expand accessibility and user participation, reaching a wider audience through educational initiatives. Phase 2 will focus on building a robust digital ecosystem to expand accessibility and enhance user participation, with a strong emphasis on legal and regulatory compliance. This phase will integrate financial institutions, regulatory bodies, legal frameworks, businesses, and users to ensure transaction security and transparency that adheres to international standards. Continuing its partnership with Ripple, Palau will leverage both Ripple's carbon-neutral CBDC platform and technical expertise. Phase 2 will also see new collaboration on marketing, sustainability goals, and environmental initiatives with Palau Pledge and Olau Palau. Palau's stablecoin program represents a significant step towards a digitally empowered future, demonstrating the nation's commitment to innovation and financial modernization.
And what I mean about Ripple being strategic, this is a podcast with Anthony and David Schwartz last year. And it's interesting that Anthony put this on his X post just out of the blue. I don't think so.
I think what it will take to move those countries is they're going to have to see these smaller countries build and deploy successfully and get benefits that they don't have. And if, suddenly payments work better in Palau than they do in the UK, like that's going to get the UK to be like, wait, why are we lagging behind these smaller countries? But I think also the challenge is that the systems seem to work well for the people who use them. Like a lot of our listeners are probably in the United States and they make almost exclusively domestic payments. And United States domestic payments work pretty well for what people use them for. Your employer can't easily pay you every day, but they don't try to do that because it doesn't work well. They stick to what works well. And of course it works well because that's, they're living inside the bounds of the system, and the system works within its bounds almost by definition. So I think it's going to take them seeing other countries that build these newer technologies, getting better experiences, and having access to new products, more innovation that the larger countries don't have before they're going to be willing to, do something that may not provide obvious, massive benefits in the short term.
And in the last 24 hours, we have an announcement from Anthony. He says that Happy New Year and here's to an amazing 2024. And he goes on to say, my very exciting new project will be launched later this month. Keep your eyes peeled as it's going to add significant clarity to the blockchain world. What I think, here's prediction number 2. Now I'm really going out on a limb on this one. He's resurrecting a COIL-like solution with micropayments. Have a listen to this podcast again, the one that, yes, he just retweeted on his X feed. Notice how many times in this mashup he talks about micropayments. and using the escrow function on the XRP ledger. Yes, the ledger has a very unique escrow function.
And I think it's important to understand that a payment system that's quick, efficient, and low cost means that you can do more different things. You can build creative solutions. You can fix some of the world's challenges, both in your own country but globally, with a system that enables that. And this is things like recording and content and using your content, so be it a TikTok dancer or writing a blog or, doing a podcast. You could actually earn money from that, $1, 1 cent or $1, per view. And this enables a new set of innovation, a new set of challenges. And there's lots more around the financial system, sustainability and inclusion that this can really start to help improve for our lives. Really down to the micropayment side of it, banks and institutions and, the financial inclusion I mentioned earlier on, they will be able to use different ways of programming the money or sort of, building rules around the money of how value can move. So, for example, if I make a payment for something today, but it doesn't get delivered for 2 weeks, how do I know when it's delivered it's going to be, what I order, if it's going to be in good condition, etc. So sort of escrow, rules could be put in place so that when the money is takes from my account today, but when I receive the product or the service, then that can clear immediately then. So it's sort of held for 2 weeks or however long delivery and services. So there's areas around that which can speed up the systems. The other area to look at and think about is we live in a world where we're paid monthly. We pay bills monthly. Why do we do that? We do that because the financial system today doesn't work. It's not efficient and it's not easy to use. As an institution, be it a company, be it government, and paying numbers and millions of employees, you can actually technically then pay people on a daily or hourly basis. And that enables you to change the flexibility of the workforce, the flexibility of your offering, and really start to adapt to a world which is a lot more creative and a lot more innovative. So we could get to the stage where we can be paid immediately we finish this podcast, we can get paid 10 cents or $1, whatever we get paid. So I think it's absolutely, and the interoperability side of it means that we can interoperate with existing fiat, with other CBDCs, with stable coins and native crypto. So it's a very exciting place to be now.
And moving right along, prediction number 3, Bitcoin will not be dethroned and will remain as the king of crypto in 2024. Perry-Ann Boring, a BTC enthusiast, is now embracing more assets with the Chamber of Digital Commerce to raise more capital for her efforts. And Ripple is the perfect partner with their war chest in the escrow. Have a listen to a portion of a video that she gave just 4 months ago.
For Bitcoin, I mean, this is the whole reason why we started the Chamber of Digital Commerce. When we started in 2014, Bitcoin, the whole market was just Bitcoin. You had a couple different cryptocurrencies that were out there, but we were founded by very early Bitcoin pioneers, and those people are still a part of our organization today. And we've managed to bring in 200 other companies to be a part of our work. We have multiple pieces of legislation that have been introduced that promote proof of work mining in the United States. We have made, as a community, very, very real progress on this anti-environmental kind of narrative towards Bitcoin just through education. And the narrative has really changed from Bitcoin's bad to the environment to Bitcoin can play a role in enhancing our energy security, and we need to study and understand that better.
Prediction number 4, and please notice XDC on the panel in the background. I believe that it will move no less than 20 positions in the rank on CoinMarketCap due to its new partner, SBI. And I want you to understand trade finance. In less than 3 minutes, this really does tell you the opportunity we have in this sector. This is with Andre Casterman, and you can see the opportunity is the infamous trade finance gap, which is at 2.5 trillion and growing. The solution? The XDC network. The blockchain tech and the transparency really are a solution. And the standardization, packaging these invoices with a tokenized product that funds that gap is the holy grail. Have a listen.
How is trade finance as an asset class developing? Is there anything happening?
The demand for trade finance is growing, also a good fact, but the negative in this is that especially the smaller businesses, which constitute the majority of businesses actually around the globe, still have a very hard time finding the finance they need. And everyone has of course heard about the infamous trade finance gap. That at some point was quoted by the Asian Development Bank at, I think, 1.5 trillion US dollars per annum. We're now at 2.5 trillion and growing. So there is still a lot to be done, but I think the overall message is this is a growing asset class. There's a lot of demand. The question is just how can we fill this?
Mark, how do you see this asset class developing on your side?
So it's important to actually understand what the asset class is, and it's important to look that it's the real economy. So it's real goods, it's coffee, it's sugar, it's vehicles, it's toys, it's actual products and services being traded, typically cross-border. And as Niels rightly said, that gap is growing. There's larger demand, and the points is why. And the reason it is because if we look back, we understand from a macro perspective, with inflation, with the number from regulatory burdens and changes that are going on, it's meant that there's an increased demand for capital in the space. It means that there is a big funding gap. So alternative lenders are stepping in, and we're seeing more and more come into the market to basically fund into that gap, fund SMEs all the way through to large corporates, and provide greater capacity at smarter but also faster.
Yeah, okay. So Niels, on your side, we hear many promising developments, but how can we scale this market to really legitimize this trade asset class?
Well, what do these funders need in order to really fill this gap? They need two things chiefly. One is transparency and one is standardization. So transparency is important because you really need to understand what's happening in your portfolio. To give you a very concrete example of a portfolio that we're seeing on our platform, that's 400,000 invoices to be funded on day one. Yeah, there's no way that you can deal with this on a spreadsheet. You need technology to help you, and there's already the answer to this question. You have to bring in technology to create this transparency. The other issue is the standardization. As a non-specialized funder, as a non-bank funder, I cannot go out and buy 400,000 individual invoices. I need a way to package this, to transform these invoices into an investable product. And again, that's something where technology can help. That's something actually that we at Trade Tech do. We provide both these aspects, the standardization and the transparency that you need to really understand what's going on in your portfolio.